I don't know about you, but according to me, things in Kenyan politics are moving at a super fast speed. And when everything is unfolding so fast, it becomes very difficult, almost impossible to keep up. A subscriber to this channel, and indeed a member of Club 1999, and a dear friend, shot me an email recently, actually last week, and he listed the things that were unfolding in Kenyan politics. And then he concluded his email by saying, Chris, how do you keep up? Do you think you're going to be able to keep up? I answered very bravely, but now I'm not so sure anymore, because that was before the events of this past weekend, which included the Raila Odinga interview on television. At that interview, the handshake principle gave us a rough idea of his net worth. A lot of money. And Raila touched on a topic that he has touched on several times before. Now, I believe I don't have to tell you that when Bwana Raila Odinga touches on something more than once, there's something in the pipeline. The topic I'm referring to is, of course, lifestyle audits. And he said the wealth of Deputy President William Ruto has a very big question mark on it. Now, in case you didn't know, the argument that Team Tangatanga has, whenever their leader is accused of corruption and embezzlement of public funds, is an argument I am sure they will never repeat in public. And they will never use it in public. And the argument is this. Okay, you accuse Deputy President William Ruto. Show me who is clean in Kenyan politics. And because nobody is clean, that topic is closed. The response from the other side, which you'll also never hear in public, they say that yes, everybody's corrupt. But there's a difference here. You can be greedy. One can go completely overboard, such that their actions harm the very economy of the country. Because it is not possible, for somebody who came into politics just the other day to start competing or wanting to be on par with people who have been involved in corruption for decades. Yep, for those who understand, we are talking about old money versus new money in Kenya. To be more specific, old corruption money and new corruption money. Economist David D. put it best. He said, the only difference here is the table manners. I think there are some Kenyans who didn't quite understand what the professor was saying. You sit down on a table for a meal. And there's all your favorite meals there. Roast chicken, roast nyama choma, etc., etc. And one person on the other side of the table has his ugali in a small plate, neatly baked. And they're eating slowly, small portions. And they're using the napkin, a lot, to wipe their mouth as they eat. And they're also very carefully monitoring their ratio of vegetables to meat. For each piece of meat that goes into their mouths, they take in a lot of vegetables. That's healthy. And when they finally finish eating, their surroundings on the table are neat. The bones are in a plate. The tablecloth is still clean. There's no soup poured all over the place. And they finish with a glass of wine. In sharp contrast, on the other side of the table, things are very different. The ugali is in a huge pile and not on a plate. It is on a tray. The kind of trays they used to serve food in schools. And the quantity of meat before them, nyama choma, is enough to feed some families in Kenya for a whole month. And there are no vegetables anywhere in sight. And this man is just gorging his mouth with ugali and meat like there's no tomorrow. And they're burping a lot with their mouth wide open, and there's still food inside there. Yuck. And occasionally, they talk with food in their mouth. And they're using a napkin, all right. Yeah, but it started out as being white. But now, it is closer to the color black. Yep, I believe that is what Professor David Ndii was talking about when he was referring to table manners, in relation to corruption in Kenya. And especially the two sides, in the current political divide. Now it is very important today, because I know you all have your favorite horses, politically. But it's very important today for us not to be naive. All Kenyan politicians are corrupt. Period. Making any fight against corruption in Kenya a very tall order indeed. And so in a nutshell, the fight against corruption in Kenya, the very noble fight against corruption in Kenya, is an attempt to remove the man without table manners from the table. It is an attempt to enforce table manners on this particular table. And Kenyans must support it with everything they have. Why? Because it is a start. If you enter a house that is very filthy and untidy, and you cannot clean properly in a week, you don't give up. You get started on the job. And at the end of the day, the house will not be clean. It'll still be dirty. But at least there'll be a difference. And what is more is that you have tomorrow to come. And you have the other day, you have the rest of the week. And hopefully, at the end of the exercise, the entire house will be clean. But you have to start somewhere. I believe it now makes a lot of sense to you why people want to start with the lifestyle audits. It is not an attempt to rid Kenya of corruption. No. All it is an attempt to start by enforcing table manners. Because a lifestyle audit will quickly pinpoint the people with very bad table manners. Now, there's something very important in any lifestyle audit that many people don't think of. And it is age. You cannot expect a 21-year-old Kenya, no matter how smart they are, to have a lot of property under their belt, to have a safe full of title deeds. And they didn't inherit any of it. That is unrealistic. The accumulation of wealth, even corrupt wealth, takes time. But of course, the story is very different for a man who is 75 years old. Even if all they did was to acquire a small plot every 5 years or so, and even if they did not do any development on those plots, the value of those particular properties has of course risen considerably over the decades. And so you understand immediately what would happen if we were to do a lifestyle audit on His Excellency Raila Odinga and His Excellency Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. Whichever way he acquired his wealth, Raila would come out of this lifestyle audit without breaking into any sweat. Because the number of years he has lived on this earth already favors him. Inheritance, stuff that he inherited from his father, his famous father, will also favor him. DP Ruto will not have the same advantages. And there's another advantage that age brings, or rather old age brings, when it comes to accumulating wealth. And I'm not talking about experience, or even the wisdom that comes with age. No. I'm talking about the fact that you have had more time to make more contacts and know more people. For instance, the current president of South Africa has been a business partner of Raila Odinga for very many years now. Bottom line, it is much easier to explain your wealth if you're an old man. And it is much harder, the younger you are. That's just how it goes. And so it seems the secret weapon that Team Keleweke has against Team Tangatanga is something called a lifestyle audit. This is a very easy way of gathering evidence. because you can take somebody to court. That one is very easy. But then you'll have to produce enough evidence to prosecute that person. Now that is something very difficult to achieve, because corrupt people are not stupid. They cover their tracks under the whiff of any danger that somebody is investigating them or wants to finish them by exposing their corruption. They will cover their tracks even more. But a lifestyle audit is a shortcut. It is a way of producing irrefutable evidence instantly, that somebody is actually corrupt. And so, unless there's divine intervention, which, as I've always said on this channel, is highly possible at this point in time, assuming that Almighty God does not plan different, the way things are going, some people are going to be brought down by something called a lifestyle audit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it is impossible to be wealthy when you're young. It is very possible, because we know Bill Gates. We know why he got wealthy. We know the late Steve Jobs. We know why he became fabulously wealthy. Lakini wewe Chege wa Gashamba, hata factory hauna. Hii pesa ilitoka wapi? My friend wa Gashamba, you have not invented anything we have heard of. You don't have any industry. You don't have any business, innovative business that changed things in Kenya, and made you wealthy very quickly. You don't. But you're young and you're very wealthy. Please explain. Until next time, this is Kshs. Kumekucha.